There we go. We're live. It's James speaking. Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Open Classroom. Got all sorts of questions to hopefully be asked and answer. Again, if you haven't joined these before, these are open ad hoc live classes for anyone who's interested in starting, building, or growing an education business. So I'll cover as much as I can, whether it be AI tools and creating content courses, building out your campus, and or marketing any of the courses or campus that you have. So if there's any sound issues, I'm going to open up my little chat here. Sometimes it really depends. I'm doing these as a live stream. I use a piece of software called Ecamm. There you go. I'm just making sure we got sound. If it's okay, give me a thumbs up and I'll do my best to make any adjustments if we have to here. Also in the chat, let me just make sure we got a chat there. There we go. If there are any questions, just put them in the chat and I'll do my best to cover those as well. So if no one asks questions right away, and also I want to make sure that this is working too, the chat. This is one of the ones where it's like, oh, is this actually working? Or what do I need to do there? And how's that going? So we got 5 or 6 people on, which is cool. There's a couple things that I can cover. Give me a thumbs up or whatever. Does building a campus, is that kind of important to you? Is it figuring out what to sell or the courses? Or is it more about marketing stuff? What is it that you want to know about or what is it that you want to learn about? So there we go. I got a thumbs up. The Weezer. Okay, perfect. Add to broadcast or ban. That's pretty cool. Thumbs up. So is it the course one you want to look at or is it the campus one? I can cover both of them. The thing that's interesting to me is actually it's funny because let me just step back for a second. 2 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago, I just finished doing a video about the whole thing with the business model. I'm going to publish it right after this because I don't have the bandwidth at my home office to do the live stream and upload a big file to YouTube. But I just finished it literally 4 minutes ago. And it was all about, how this AI stuff should be looked at or applied to anyone in a small business creating courses. So hopefully you'll go and enjoy that. That's kind of a cool thing that's coming up. One that I'm excited about because I think people are focusing on the wrong things when it comes to AI, me included, and I'm kind of struggling with it. So that'll be available a couple minutes after this live stream. The other one that I'll just pull this up so you can see on the trainingsites.io site. I will cover this one today unless anyone asks me a question. So this is free to join here, the trainingsites.io. If you just go to trainingsites.io/join, you can register for free. But on this particular page, one of the questions I got was, should I do free or paid courses? So free or paid courses. And then the other question was, how should I organize my content strategy and how much free content should I produce for the channel versus my paid stuff? And could you advise in future about the subject, please, there. So what I did is I did do a little bit of an answer here. And if that makes sense to you as to something to cover, what I'll do is I'll spend some time with that right now. Weezer says, cover both because I'm a newbie. Can't stay, but wanted to say hi and appreciate your videos. Perfect, Debbie. Thank you very much. These are obviously all recorded, so if you do miss it, that's fine too. And even put your questions in the chat if you miss it and you're not able to stay. So here's the thing for what content to create. And I'll go through a little bit of this in detail. My personal belief on this is that if you create what used to be called in search engine optimization, used to be called a topical authority map, I call it a topical course map or topical content map now. And I use the exact same process that people used to do for SEO, which I personally think is a waste of time right now. And it gives me, in my case, I did it for a pickleball project, which I'll show you, but I came up with 300 content ideas in about 4 or 5 minutes using ChatGPT and the prompt that I'll share with you. So if you're worried about content, making sure that you do this topical content map or topical course map, it will give you all of the content ideas that you need, plus when you look at it, it also gives you all of the mini or micro courses and the program that you need to have if you want to treat your business as a course business or education business. So this map is basically gold, and it's covered in the very first step of my small business map, or my campus map. So let me just go and close this for a second, and then we'll share it. Hopefully you can see it okay. The one thing I don't know how to do with Ecamm yet is to zoom in into parts of the page. I'm learning on that one, so I apologize if sometimes stuff looks a little bit small. Doing my best to have that show up as big as I want it. So let's just go and let me do this one here. We'll see if I can get this open so that you can see it. On the left-hand side here, you'll see that there's the campus map course. This is a free course. It's available to everyone. If you click on that, it goes through. There's actually 11 lessons, but this is my map on things that you have to do as a small business owner when you're doing this. And this is the one that you should take a look at. Discover the perfect niche and campus topic and theme. So here's the video that's here, and the very first lesson is creating a topical authority map. And it goes through some of the steps in that, and this is the one that's important. Use the 1-5-25 map. And I'll go through the prompts in these in a second. Sometimes I use 1-10-30, 1-15-50, doesn't really matter. The numbers that you use, it's usually based on the complexity or the breadth of the topic that you want. But the big idea here is that you have to pick one topic, not one niche, one topic. And from that topic, you want to create a list of categories that are semantically relevant. And what that means is that they are related specifically to that topic. And I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And then from there, what you want to do is each of those individual categories, you want to find out 25, in this case, related questions, challenges, items that come up or that are important about each of the categories. So if I do 1-5-25, I got 5 times 25. There's 125 content ideas that were there. So this is just an easy way to get started building out the map. And I'll show you one that I did for pickleball, just so that you see how this works, and maybe a little variation one. And then I'll also show, oh, I didn't want to do that. I'll also show white label consulting. Yeah, I need help badly. Okay. The command and the plus key on Zoom, I've done that, and it works on the desktop, but it doesn't work in Ecamm for me. So maybe I have a setting or something that's not working. I ought to play around with it a little bit more. Yeah, so that 125 map, I'll show you where that is, and we'll go take a look at it. And again, all of this stuff in here is free for you, except the content for the campus builders, which is my blended learning. It's not my video content and my text content. That's when you actually get to interact and work with me. That's the way I make money on my campus, is for people who want to create courses or content, want to build at their campus, or want to market it. So these are the paid services and stuff that I offer here. But I'm going to go look at the prompt library and resources on the left-hand side. Sorry, didn't have the right screen on. Let's open this one instead. See, there's got my done with you campus builders. There's the content creators. That's where we do blended learning and course material for building out courses, for building out a campus and being able to market them. That's where I get paid here. If down below there's a process, prompt library and resources, so I just want you to click that. If you're on the site and you're watching this after and you're logged in and registered, then you're going to see basically a knowledge base of stuff that I've been collecting. And one of the examples that I have is the left-hand side. It's in my Pickleball Friends, which is another project that I have, and it's the Topical Authority Map. Now, I did a couple things in the research. The first one I did is I just looked for some keywords, but I really wanted to start with my topic of pickleball. Not a specific niche in pickleball, but pickleball. That is my topic. And what I did in this one is I said, give me 30 semantically relevant but unique topics under the main category of pickleball. So I didn't ask for 5. My one topic is pickleball. The previous one that I showed you was 1-5-25. I did 1-30. So I said, give me 30 relevant but unique topics under the main category. And it gave me 30 topics. Pickleball strategy, pickleball tips, pickleball rules, pickleball tournaments, pickleball serving techniques, pickleball drills, injuries, clothing, footwork, types of shots, nutrition, coaching, schools. So it gave me 30. I asked for 30 from ChatGPT. These are the ones that came out. So if you're playing around with this after, what you need to do is just go, okay, what's my topic? If someone has a topic here, put it in the chat. We'll actually take a look and see what's going on. If someone has a topic, I'll do my best to actually, maybe we could do one just to see what happens. But I picked my 30 topics. So I have my topics, and my categories. And then what I did with this one, and again, you can look and see how this works. What I did is I asked for 10 variations of pickleball strategy that address different search intents. Not intents, but intent. So what I did is I said strategy was one of the first ones, right? So I just took the first one, and then I said, give me 10 variations of pickleball strategy that people are searching for on Google, in the search engines, the ones that come up. I don't know if the ChatGPT at the time actually did stuff on YouTube videos, but I just want to know if someone's interested in strategy, what are they searching for? What are the things that come up that are important to them about strategy? And from this, what it did is it gave me 10 particular pickleball strategy topics or content ideas that I can focus on. So if I'm a YouTube creator or if I'm a course creator, what do each of these relate to? These are videos or mini courses or micro courses. There's 10 right there. I did this for 30. That's 300 ideas for creating content. And all of these are related to pickleball, and they're all ones that people will be asking about if they're interested in pickleball as a topic. So I don't think going, hey, let's create a course on pickleball strategy for beginners. I don't think that's the way to start. I think you want to start with this topical content map and have it mapped out so that you have a complete picture for your business and your audience of the stuff your audience wants. And that's kind of the important part, right? Is if I've got an audience, I want to make sure what I need is I want to build a business educating people about pickleball. And if I do this, then I know what my audience is looking for in terms of the questions they have about 30 different categories. And in each of those categories, I got 10 ideas that are search ones. And on this page, when I was showing it, I did it 30, I did it for 10. So I did 10 for the next one, 10 for the next one, and 10 for the next one. And then all I did was this is the prompt I used right here. Give me 10 variations for pickleball rules that address different search intent. Simple stuff, and it's done, and it's ready to go. So hopefully that makes sense for you. Phil Binks is helping out there too. Screen share in Ecamm, shift scroll with your mouse. Okay, so I'm going to try this. If I break anything, Phil or White Label Consulting, I'm going to blame you, okay? So let's see what happens. We'll do a screen share here. We'll do this one straight, screen share. So are you saying if I hold the shift and do the mouse, there's my shift key in the mouse. It doesn't do it. So what is the other one that came up here? Okay, shift scroll with your mouse. That didn't work. Command and the plus key to zoom in. So let me try that one. See if that one's used. Command and the plus key. Hey, there. Awesome. There we go. Thank you. Okay, very cool. Okay, thank you very much. I learned something today. Wonderful. Now I have to get, actually here's something that I'll have to set up then. One of the ways that I do the live streams is I use a Stream Deck. And again, I have the links in the Stream Deck in the resources section of the website, which if you go back to the campus and the community, and again, I'll put the links to these ones below. The campus and the community, all of the resources that I use here, resource links like things like Ecamm and Stream Deck and stuff that are there. Thank you very much for that one. That's a good tip that I couldn't get to work earlier. So I'll have to, the part that now I'll have to set that up on Stream Deck so I can use it with a button instead of using the keyboard. So hopefully that will work. I'm not going to do it more today because I'm not sure if I could get it to work properly without breaking something. So, okay, cool. Yeah, so hopefully that topical map there, I think that's a really important, and it's a good way to get started when you're figuring out how you're going to create your content. And how to use it and where it fits in is in that campus map course. So on the left-hand side, when you're in the campus map course, just make sure to get started with that, and it's discover your perfect niche and campus topic. And all of this information is there for you there. So if you do that, how do you build a course? What are the pieces that you build in a course? My personal belief on this now, and again, I don't know the market that you're in necessarily or the kind of business you want to grow, but for me personally, what I do with that topical content map is I don't focus on courses. I focus on answering the questions that are the most popular ones, or the ones that I get feedback from you, as an example, in the audience, and I try and answer those ones as best I can and publish them to YouTube. The reason I do that is because I want to build an audience on YouTube, and I'm not giving the whole course, I'm giving specific answers to specific questions on YouTube. Now, why I do that is to build the audience. What I'm also doing is I'm bringing in those YouTube videos and starting to add them in curated or processes to actually have something work like this. So here's the prompts. Just to give you an idea, here's the prompts for the AI prompts for course creators. These ones were all YouTube videos. So I put them in and basically took the content that was a YouTube video, extrapolated and expanded on it, just using AI tools to basically give me these summaries and even create some contact or images, with it, and I organize those in the form of a course. Now, I give away this course, but if you have enough value in there, even though they're up on YouTube where the do-it-yourself people are, there's going to be people that just say, hey, I want it organized for me. Do I have to search for it from different people and try and figure out which one works for me? Just give me the steps to follow. That's when I turn it into a mini course or a micro course, or ever what you want to call it. Now, when you're creating courses, again, this is just my personal experience. I think it's a lot harder to sell what used to be called a course now. People just don't have the time to do it. They're not looking for as big an answer, even though someone here says, hey, I'm a beginner. And if you are a beginner, that it's I think starting smaller with educational content is much better than going, I have to have a course and a complete course to start selling before I can have an education business. I think there's more value in creating small specific answers, publishing them to YouTube to do two things. One is for you to learn what the heck you're doing when you're creating these videos and get better at them. And the other thing is to identify from your audience what they really value and what's important to them. Because I found that if I'm doing something or I have some expertise in something, one of the things is it's really hard to get your head around is you expect that everyone knows the same thing that you do, and they don't. So some things that I think that are really simple, someone might be starting out, go, what the heck is he talking about? So I try to do these little questions and answers, or at least my thoughts or observations on things that are going on, which is another video that will be out on YouTube shortly. But that is kind of where I focus on at the start, and then I'll put them into kind of courses that can be monetized. So in terms of a business perspective, audience, create that content. And if you have to start earning money right away, you can use yourself as a blended or live teaching, might have been called traditionally coaching, that you would be able to monetize at the start while you're building out your audience. So got that one. What software to use for the campus course platform or the plugins in WordPress? Okay, so one thing I'll do right now is I will show you, I use a mind mapping tool called XMind, and I'll open that one up so that we can see it. Let me just pull one over here that I have. So this is actually, I use this in a whole bunch of different ways. AI is a waste of time is the video that I finished at 5 minutes to 1 today. These are just my personal notes, talking points that I actually used when I was doing the video. I was basically looking at this and talking about these particular points, kind of the homework that I was doing. So I use tools like this to brainstorm and organize my thoughts. They also become courses. And I'll show you my master course for entire campus. Right here, we'll open this one up. This is my campus blueprint. My entire business is basically right here in 10 steps. And those steps, I'll open them up so that we can at least see it. These steps are all of the stuff in the course content or the areas that I look at. So the first one that I was talking about here is clarifying your goals and purpose. I was talking about brand messaging for your topical authority map or topical content map. These can all be individual lessons in a course that was called, goals, how to clarify your goals and purpose. That's not the title of it, but you get the idea. I have 10 mini courses here, these 10 steps, and this is how I organize it, my thoughts, but also the course materials that I put in. And this piece, all of this content came from doing a topical content map and figuring out what are the 10 things or the process that I need to teach in order for people to start, build, and grow an education business. So that's one of the ways that I kind of do it, is to use a tool like this. And I split each of these sections into their own kind of little maps as an example here. So there's number 1. Here's my mini course right here, 6 lessons. And in the 6 lessons, each lesson has these topics that I cover. So technically there's a course on discovering your perfect niche. So that's how I do it, and use mind maps. Any mind map that you have, whatever you're comfortable will work. That is a great tool. I really like it. Now, one of the questions was, do you use the XMind AI? I have not used that one personally. I bought this one well before the AI one came out, so I don't use it personally. There's other tools that are available that do this, and some of them include AI. My understanding from the demos that I've seen is they will help you to organize and put a logical flow and clean up the work that maybe you haven't thought of or added. So if you actually have some feedback on how this works, don't be afraid to, it would be really helpful actually if you put it into the campus and put it into tools and resources here. If you have some that you're using, something you want to talk about, get in and play around with that one too. I'd love to see that. Okay, so AI don't necessarily know about. This one is called XMind, and I'm going to open this one up here just so that you see it as well. It's xmind.net, because there is a couple neat things that you can do when it comes to creating courses. Where's the xmind? They do have a download app. I don't have that. Yeah, I do have the app installed. So yeah, it's just a pretty good tool. Web links, topics. The one thing I will kind of share with you that I used to do a lot of with XMind, which is neat, is that you can use XMind and export it as a PDF. So if I wanted to file and go to export, I can export it as a PDF. Now the thing that's cool with these PDFs is, if in this case, see where I have this little link to it, you can put URL attachments in the PDF. So if this was a course, I could have a direct link to lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, and all I need to do is add the link to the lesson here. So you can give someone a PDF, and if they click on best way to help lesson, it would actually bring them to that particular lesson. And that's what I originally did at the start when I was using this before, is I would just create a map and I'd say, here's the course. And then when people clicked on the individual links to get the details, they had to log in or purchase a course. It brought them to a place to purchase a course. So that's kind of a neat trick. I don't use anymore, but I have seen some people using it again, if they're using templates or checklists or ideas to be able to do that. So that's in the file export, which I think is only available in the paid version, which is really inexpensive. The other one with XMind, just to keep in the back of your mind, is it does export things into Markdown, and it imports stuff from Markdown. And the reason that this is interesting is because when you are working with ChatGPT or the AI tools, you can import Markdown files, and you can also ask ChatGPT to export Markdown files. And if you have a Markdown file that was generated from ChatGPT, it's really easy just to go File, Open the Markdown file, and you will get a map out of it based on something that you prompted there. And I will share one other thing here, just different XMind. Here's the other one that's kind of interesting, again, just in the back of your mind, is that if you're uncomfortable being in front of the camera, but you do have great content that is already in a mind map, one of the things that you consider, and hopefully this turns out for me, is up in the upper right-hand corner here, you'll see there's a little thing called pitch. What this does is this will actually create an animated slide deck based on the map that you've got. So for example, I'm going to click it now. Hopefully I'll be able to get back to it. There we go. What screen do I want to show? Actually, let me see if I can get this one to... Yeah, there we go, as an example. So, oh, it's mapping it out. Sorry. Can I do this one? No, I can't share this one here. Let me see if I can switch screens. Yeah, there we go. Okay, you should be able to see this. So this one is an example. I can go and change it and go backwards and forwards through it. And it'll actually take the map and allow me to go through and work on it as a presentation, whether I'm doing a live stream or recording something. So, and there's some different styles on this. So if I pick that, we can change the theme. This is one that I've used before in the past. So just a cool way to go and do it out. And you can do the settings as to how this works and how it doesn't. So that's not a kind of a neat trick that is used for, or can be used for, when you're creating these particular mind maps and using them in your business. So hopefully that helps. Mind maps at top right. Do you want me to try it? I don't know if that's the one. I don't know about this. Don't know. That's time for another video. I'll exit that one. Is there anyone? Tools, just look at this, see if there's anyone for tools. Map shot, merge, create custom theme. Yeah, don't know that one. I'll have to take a look at it. Thanks for mentioning it, though. I haven't played around with it. Questions, what do we got for questions? More questions? Difference between XMind and X, which one would you recommend? I just use XMind. It's free to get started, and they do have a paid version, which is really inexpensive. So I just use mind maps because I like big pictures. What I found in the past was that if I make lists or to-do items, I end up with piles of lists and to-do items. The way that I have my setup for courses and or videos, actually maybe I'll show that to you just because some people ask, you know, how do I keep track of the things? Let me just open this one up. That's the video actually that I just did a couple minutes ago before we got started. But on this one, the way I've got mine set up is, for me, the YouTube videos, what I do is I basically create a folder for each video, and in each of them, there's one, that one's just got the featured images. Yeah, so here's one about setting up my studio. So I basically keep my thumbnails in it, I keep my mind map in it, and then any kind of information that's additional. So it basically opened up the map for me. So that's the map that I have for this particular video. So I keep my map, my featured images, and any notes there, and I keep them in their own folder just so that I can keep track of them and organize them. That's the way I keep my stuff. So I recommend that you, if you are going to create videos, that you get some kind of way to organize them. And I mentioned in a couple other videos, I think this is going to be really, really important because the way the AI tools is working with multimodal tools from Google and the AI Studio, you're going to have a library of video content and mind maps and all of these things. And an AI agent is going to be able, and you could go create a course out of these 3 folders. And you've got your videos and stuff there, and it's going to be able to create a course content based on some parameters that you give it. So I think that's coming really, really quickly. The stuff with DeepSeek that just came out last week is an example of how fast this stuff is happening. And I did a video up on DeepSeek as well, I think yesterday or the day before, where, you know, the stuff, if you're a course creator and you want to treat it as a business and not just sell a course, keeping track of and organizing all of your content, it's a pretty smart thing to do. X minus top. Any other questions there? TurnMaker, what apps for campus courses and platforms? So that's TurnMaker. Okay. Is everything a plugin for WordPress? And which ones do you recommend for your campus? Okay, here's a $1 million question, and technically that's why I have that whole campus builders thing here on the left-hand side is about building out your campus. So the first thing I'm going to say about this is that you have 2 ways to host your campus. And the ways that you can host your campus or your own platform for your business, I think of it in terms of owning your house or renting space in an apartment. So when I was a lot younger and had hair, one of the goals, and especially like my kids growing up now, it's like the first kind of big thing is like having home ownership, right? And before you have home ownership, you may be in an apartment. And I started out in a city called Toronto in Ontario, Canada, and apartments, houses were really expensive. You had no choice but to get in and basically rent a spot. And when you rented a spot, you went to a building, and if you went to the building, you didn't get to choose what was in the apartment in terms of the sizes and layouts. It's like there was 4 layouts or 3 layouts, you picked one and that's all you got. And once you got in there, you went, okay, great, I like this setup, but wouldn't it be great if I could add a wall here or remove a wall here or change the size of that or fix it? Maybe, maybe not. And sometimes there was a shared condo area where there was a workout room and a pool. You said, hey, they don't have the machine that I like. You can't bring it in. It's like you get only what is given in your apartment. That is the exact same thing as if you want to build your platform on software as a service, which is a space that is rented that has a place for, and I'll give a couple examples of either running your entire business and or a portion of your business for courses. So in that case, you have tools like Kajabi, which basically does everything. Another one that's out now is Go High Level, which is another one. Those are kind of whole package service ones that do stuff like email marketing and the CRM stuff and some automation and contact files and landing pages. So those are kind of like platforms, and you can rent some space on them, and they're very, very good at what they do. However, if you don't want to do your business exactly the way as that apartment is, you have no choice but to try and either change to a different apartment building that has the extra bedroom or has the better layout or has the better pool or workout equipment. So that's a choice to make. Of all of the stuff that I've done doing this for the last 25 years, I rented a lot of apartments at the start, but I ended up at some point where it was just like, man, I want my own house. I want a piece of property that I can own where I'm in control of everything. And if I want to add an extra room now, because the kids are here, that's fine. And when the kids move out, I don't want that room. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to paint the colors on the walls. I'm going to move another story. I'm going to add whatever I want to it, take away whatever I want. And you know what? At the end of the day, if I end up retiring or changing, I have an asset in the form of the email addresses and the customers that I have, and maybe the content. But I own that space. That is my space. So in terms of platforms, I think first of all, you have 2 choices. Are you going to rent or own? In my case, I own, and this platform that I've got right here that I call a training site and or a personally branded campus is built entirely on WordPress. So everything that you see here is WordPress. Right from the community that's here to the classes that are in an event calendar we're doing a class right now as an example, to the videos that we're doing, which is on a WordPress site where I have a library of videos that I'm adding based on the YouTube videos, and the community, and as well the community, the courses that are in the community, which are these ones here. So I use a piece of software called, and I have all my affiliate links if you don't mind using them, but these courses are all done. We'll just open that one up here. We'll do the campus map one, so it's a pretty good one. This is just a very simple LMS or learning management system, and this particular one has, in this case, it has some lessons, and the lessons, if I open it up, let me do one here. It has the ability to put a video in, text, just like regular WordPress, and this particular image is from a free tool called napkin.ai that creates these images automatically, and you see on the right-hand side where it's just the lessons that you can complete and go through them and ask questions. So this is just a real simple learning management system. These are all based on Fluent plugins, and I'll show you the links to these ones so that you see it. And again, I have links to these that are ones that are affiliate links. If you use those, I'll put them in behind. But Fluent Forms is a WordPress developer, been around for a long time. Fluent Forms, Fluent CRM is where I keep all my contacts, and all the marketing automations are done here, which is stuff you might have to do on Kajabi, for example. I didn't mention ones like Teachable and Thinkific, and there's a whole bunch of other tools that are services, like renting space in an apartment, but they only have the courses. They don't have the automation or the contact management. Some of them don't even have the community part, or it's a very limited community. So Fluent CRM is the marketing automation, and the other ones that are here are Fluent Community, which is the one that has my community and the courses. There's Fluent CRM, Forms. My help desk runs on Fluent Support. My appointments work on Fluent Booking, and those are the ones that I have. Those tools, plus one other one for calendars, where you have a couple options on WordPress calendars, that's the part that takes care of all of the calendaring stuff. And just to show you how bookings work, one of the things that I have on the site here is on the left-hand side, it says work with me, for example. This is a Fluent booking that allows people to basically book some time with me, 15 minutes just to get started, and it automatically books something in my calendar, adds emails to myself that something's booked. The other person gets something that's booked. They get a reminder just before the call. I get a reminder before the call. So that's just an example of one of the tools that is there. I also have a Fluent project management tool that's in here from Fluent that does all of the things where I organize the content for the videos and any projects that are working with customers with the agency side. So that's a whole suite of tools. It's just built on WordPress and a regular WordPress hosting account. And one of the things that we do personally is if you want your own campus and you want it managed, we have all sorts of companies and small businesses and even some individuals where we basically set up the campus for them. We have developer licenses for all these tools, and you basically pay a monthly fee to have the campus set up and hosted for you. And then we have some additional levels of service, which include things like actually creating content for you, course content for you, doing the marketing and the email campaigns and automations and social posting as well. So that is a whole suite of stuff. Now, on the other hand, if you are doing things like certifications, where we have a number of customers that, for example, let's say you have resellers that are part of your program, or you need to train people yearly to certify them as to have a certain level of education. If you're doing that, there's a couple programs that are WordPress programs that I could have plugged in here that would have worked exactly the same. And the ones to kind of look at, again, I have courses on these as well. The first one is called LearnDash.com, which I've been using for 7 years, I guess now, or 8 years. And I have a number, I actually have 40 courses on LearnDash in this site, my campus. They're just hidden and not available, but all my old courses are there as well. So LearnDash is one that allows you to have things like certification quizzes, assignments, multiple instructors, all this additional pieces that if you have to have more complex way to do the teaching, you can use something like LearnDash. The other one that I've used that is pretty popular is called Lifter LMS. And again, this is another great learning management software, learning management plugin for WordPress. And then there's another one, and I'll put the links to these. They're in the resources. All of these are in that resources. There's Tutor LMS, which is another one. So those are kind of the big three that I look at when it comes to plugins. Buy, own pieces that you need. I try and keep it all in WordPress. And right now, the ones that I really like are Fluent because they're simple. Pardon me, I didn't have the ones open. I'll go to those again. So Tutor LMS is here. You can see, I'll just bring this one up. So e-learning plugin, pretty straightforward. This one's a little more complex. I apologize for having that. Lifter LMS is the other one that we looked at, plugin, and then LearnDash was the first one. So these are ones that you can have and use, again, WordPress plugins, and they work for more complex or more sophisticated ways of having your courses organized, tested, and all of the additional things that may go with it. I use the Fluent CRM, which has a basic learning management software piece in it. Having said that, the Fluent community part that has that CRM, it works with Lifter, LearnDash, and Tutor. So you can actually use any one that you want. It just depends on how complex that you need it to be. There we go. Do you have, hopefully that helps there. So difference between everything plugins for WordPress. So TurnMaker, hopefully that helps out as to one that would give you some ideas on what to do with that. You know, building a campus, the reason that you build the campus and the courses after figuring out what your goals is and who you're helping out, if you don't have that foundation of what's important for your business, a way to deliver it, some people going, I want to build a campus first, then I'll add some courses, which in my experience is the wrong way to do it, because you need to design your campus based on the goals and the customers that you're going to be helping. Excuse me. One of the things that I found personally, and why I went to the basic course one, and this is really difficult for people, irrespective if they're using a LearnDash plugin or they're using Thinkific or Kajabi or some of the other tools, it's a lot harder now to get people to actually finish and complete courses. And part of that reason is it can get very confusing and long and drawn out and too much work for people who are not required to be certified, as an example. So I try and keep it as simple as I can and use it in a way that is you know, as easy as I possibly can for the people using it. And you wouldn't know that unless you did your homework first. So if you're thinking about getting into the education business, don't jump to the courses, don't jump to the building the campus part. Figure out and have that map done, that 1, 10, 25 or whatever you happen to do, and know who you're selling to, know what it is that they want, and be able to create some content and get some feedback on it before trying to figure out what you're going to plug it into. Now, even though I said don't create courses in campus, I think there's some ways to get started building out a community on your campus to start letting people in and at least talk to them. That usually happens for me is if you end up where you're on YouTube, and this is where people got caught before. I'll give you an example. A lot of people, when they thought about having a community, and at least in the last 5 years, was I have a Facebook group. I've got a community. I'm building my Facebook group. I have 10,000 people on my Facebook group. Now, if that's the case, yes, it is a community. You're renting your community from Facebook, who owns the email addresses and has control of your group and all of the content that's within it. So I am a firm believer that Facebook groups as a business piece are not a good way to do things, because you're just you're basically renting chat space. There's no way for you, other than to moderate it, but there's no way for you to use or harness the community engagement and have it as part of your business unless you put it into your own community. So irrespective of, building courses or, selling courses and building a fancy campus with some of the stuff I showed you, I think Fluent Community, they have a free version. All those ones you can start off free for WordPress. Put it on and then ask people to get in there. You'll get their email address to start building out your list. They'll be in your community. And one of the things that we started doing is I actually have a list of, I think, 70 or 80 entries that I can make in the community to get engagement in the community. So every day, every 2 days, every week, add or pin some kind of question, poll, survey, prompt or something to get people involved. Now you could do that on Facebook, but what the heck, where is it? It has nothing to do with your business, and you don't get people's email address to be involved in that community. So if you're going the WordPress way, get Fluent Community. And again, I have the links. I'll put them in the site here. But just start building a community. Don't go right to courses, because you'll learn right away. If you are adding some videos, people are going to go, wow, that's cool. And other people are going to go, huh, doesn't matter, doesn't care. So do more of what people want in your topic and less of what you think people want. Hopefully that will help out there. Okay, what other questions do I have here? Any more questions? Take away X minus Ecamm, Kajabi, spelling. Okay, the Weezer. These markdowns available in the campus for download. So Big Mac, the markdowns available in the campus for the download. You know what? I don't think I do, but that's something I could certainly add. If that's something you want, give me a thumbs up and I'll put that one in. Okay. So this is it's interesting for me doing this, because I've been doing this for a while, and this is cool stuff, and I get really passionate about it. And I do get asked, do I use a teleprompter, or do I, make notes and scripts, that kind of thing. And I don't. This is all completely live, unscripted. I use talking points sometimes, but this is completely live and unscripted, just because I have experience about this stuff and I'm passionate and it's cool and I like it. So when people are going, I want to start an education business because I'm just retiring, or I'm thinking of retiring, I'm really good at this, or maybe at home I have a passion for this because I've been doing it for years, being able to just share what it is that you do, being authentic about it, irrespective of what ChatGPT gives you in a prompt or tells you that you should say, or that you put into a teleprompter. I do have a teleprompter in front of me, by the way, from Elgato, but I don't use it necessarily anymore, except the only time I use it is oftentimes I will use it for if I want to do an intro or an exit, because I'm absolutely awful at getting a little bit too long-winded at the start and at the end. So sometimes I try and give myself some prompts on, like, bring it in for a landing and get to the point as quick as possible. But the thing is, if you're going to have an education business, don't get hung up on all of the fancy production and stuff. Like, get over yourself and just be passionate about it and talk about what you already know. And ask people some questions and answer the questions. It's that simple. And don't be afraid to make mistakes when you're in front of the camera and video. I've been doing it for a long time. I'm getting okay at it from the perspective that I hope I'm explaining myself well, but I'm comfortable doing it. Right now I'm doing anywhere from 30 to an hour and a half minutes of video every day, just talking about stuff that I've done in the past or stuff that I'm observing that happened the morning, the day before, the week before. And if you're passionate about something, you should be able to do that if you start. So hopefully, watching this today or joining me next Wednesday, or upgrading your membership and being part of those other courses and workshops for starting, building, and growing your site, you'll be getting to the spot where you can have some fun doing it, really take advantage of all the experience that you have. So any other questions? How long have you been going? 49 minutes, holy mackerel. Okay, yeah, get over yourself. I will mention that just for one thing, because I do talk to a lot of people that say, I don't want to be on camera, or what will people think? And at my age now, I'm in my 60s, at my age now, I really don't give a, like, just get out and do some stuff. No one's going to see your videos at the start anyway. So by the time people actually start watching some of them or coming to the live streams, like, just play around, have some fun. And if it's awful and you have no one watching it, just make it private on YouTube as an example, and then make another one. Just make another one, and you'll get better at it. And watch it yourself. You'll get used to hearing your own voice and go, do I really sound like that? Or you go, oh my God, my nose is big, or I have a lot of forehead. People don't care. They don't remember it. Just share your stuff, have some fun, and there will be people that raise their hand and go, holy crap, I can use this or apply it, or he looks like he's having fun, or she looks like she's having fun, and I really like the topic that she's talking about. Okay, so I'm going to bring it in for landing. 50 minutes. As always, this will be inside the campus. If you haven't already, I would love for you to join up if you're watching this after. Give me a like and a subscribe as well. I'm just here to help you guys start, build, and grow an education business using YouTube and your own privately branded campus and packaging up your content into an offer that you can sell. So there we go. That's it for today. No final questions? 66. Join, don't give the F club. Thank you, Debbie. That's where we go. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much, guys. We'll talk to you soon. I've another video posted in a couple minutes that you'll see on the channel, and probably one or two tomorrow, just with all the stuff that's happening. And I will give you one hint. There's stuff in the AI space that I can't keep up with that applies specifically to small business and creating courses and online material. I'm doing my best to keep it up, but I don't want to get too lost in the weeds on the other hand. So I'm trying to focus on how do we use that as an employee, a digital employee, to do the things that we need to do in our business to actually earn some money with it. So stay tuned for that video this afternoon because I cover it in some detail there. So there we go. That's it. That's all. Take care. Expect the best. We'll be back next Wednesday at 1 o'clock for another open classroom. Take care. Bye-bye.